is yours, the world is yours.
It's mine, it's mine, whose world is this? It's mine, it's mine, it's mine, whose world is this?
The world is yours, the world is yours.
I'm Augustus William Jordan III. I'm an English professor from Georgia Perimeter College in Covington, Georgia, which is east of Atlanta, 30 miles east of Atlanta. My presentation is called It Ain't Hard to Tell. It's a literary analysis on various selections by the hip-hop artist Nasir Jones, known as Nas. It was actually a paper I did in a black aesthetic class. Professor Dr. Daniel O. Black told us to pick a rap artist. We were on rap music at that point. Pick a rap artist that we felt had pretty much gone through a transition. And the question we had to answer was whether the rap artist should continue to be able to hone their craft or if they should move along and get another job, right? Okay, I chose Nasir Jones because I kind of could relate really well to him. He was a very introverted child. Grew up in the projects of Queensbridge, which is in Queens, New York. It's actually the biggest housing project in the United States. It's actually the size of a small city. And what was very phenomenal about this particular borough in New York, Queens, hip-hop was actually founded in the South Bronx as a counterculture to the conditions that was being brought upon a society by the commissioner at the time, Robert Moses. In 1973, Robert Moses built the Cross Bronx Expressway, which went directly through the neighborhood, the Bronx, the borough of the Bronx. This affected the people immensely. There were various different races and cultures living in South Bronx at the time. However, the only two ethnicities, the only two cultures that were not able to escape or move away because they couldn't really afford it were the blacks and Latinos. In essence, they created hip-hop culture. Okay, moving on to the first introductory pictures. That's how Nasir looks. Okay, Queens faking it. Now, since hip-hop was founded in the South Bronx, Queens was always looked at as copycats. In 1987, Lawrence Christian Parker, known as KRS-One, also one of the rappers who formed a formula called edutainment. He used hip-hop to edutain the masses. This was early in his career. He came out with a song called The Bridge Is Over. Pretty much. Another rapper by the name of Sean Mulkey, also known as MC Shan, had a song called The Bridge. Basically, he was telling his perspective on hip-hop in Queensbridge, living in Queensbridge projects. KRS-One, who was young at the time, I think in his early 20s, he and his partner, Scott Rocket Boogie Down Productions, took this as meaning that they were saying that hip-hop started in the bridge, but it really wasn't. And this is what brought along the discourse, which was called the beginning of the borough battles in hip-hop. Now, later on in Lawrence Christian Parker's career in hip-hop, he put that away. He's like, yeah, they can express where they came from, their experiences growing up in Queens, but we know that hip-hop was started in the South Bronx. And they made a lot of money in this discourse. It was very personal at the time. Now, it's money made by it. So, as Mr. Parker grew, he looked upon this new lyricist by the name of Nasir Jones. Nasir Jones was born in September 1973 in the Queensbridge Housing Project. One of his idols whom he looked up to was MC Shan, Sean Mulkey, who was, the opponent in the bridge battle. So it's like he looked up to him and everything. And coming out, Nas came out as a lyrical iconoclast. Originally, Nas came out on a song by a group called Main Source. Main Source were actually from Canada, from Toronto, Canada. Two of its members, I know the two DJs, Sir Scratch K Cup from Canada. So first song he came out with was called Live at the Barbecue. Pretty much it's a posse song. In hip-hop, pretty much hip-hop started out as a party music. It came about with the DJs in the parks having parties. And in between, they would make little announcements like, you're double parked, they're going to tow your car. And then we just have the DJ spinning his music with blend disco, techno music from England, various different things that they would add, James Brown beats by other R&B to make it interesting. The MC came into the picture once a poet named Cowboy and another poet named Coco Rock, they began to make little rhymes in between the songs, like, to the lady in the yellow, I know you get mellow, but don't stop, the body rock. To the man in the blue, what you gonna do, but don't stop, the body rock. They just keep it going on like that, and that's how MC was born. The first song that I have transcribed, like I said, is from Live at the Barbecue, is showing how Nas, who called himself Nasty Nas at the time, came out as a lyrical iconoclast. Here are his lyrics: street disciple, my raps are trifle. I shoot slugs through my head just like a rifle. Stand people stage, I leave the microphone split. Play Mr. Tuffle, I'm on some pretty tone. Verbal assassin, my architect pleases. When I was 12, I went to hell for snuffing Jesus. Nasty Nas is a rebel to America. Kidnapped the president's wife without a plan. Without a plan. And hanging brothers like the Ku Klux Klan. I melt mics till the sound waves over. Before stepping to me, you need to step to Jehovah. Hearing this, I was just amazed, and I'm like, he's going against Jesus Christ in the song, I'm a strong Christian. And I dug the rhyme style, but I was like, wow, he is really bold, putting those type of lyrics in his song. But that made people take heed and take attention, you know, what he was doing. Didn't really know that much about him. I didn't know he grew up in Queensbridge Projects. And I did know at the time when this song came out, which was in 1994, that he received 5 mics from the Source magazine, which was the highest rating. Nobody ever received 5 mics until he did. He was the first one to do it, I think. Source magazine came out like in the early 90s, or 89 to be exact. So as Nasty Nas, he was a lyrical iconoclast. And this is the perfect example of that. Pretty much saying when he was 12, he went to hell for snuffing Jesus. Man, I went to hell. I hit Jesus in the head, so I went to hell when I was 12. You're a bad man. Kidnapped the president's wife without a plan, and I'm hanging people like the Ku Klux Klan. All right? Before stepping to me, you need to try to step to God. Bold words for somebody who is merely a teenager. Another song from Illmatic I analyzed was Genesis. Actually, Genesis is what I call the chapter, but the name of this song is New York State of Mind. The lines go, I keep some E&J sitting bent up in the stairway, or either on the corner betting grants with CeeLo champs, laughing at bass heads trying to sell some broken amps. So hold your stash until the coke price drop. I know this crackhead who said she got a cook nice rock, and if it's good, she'll bring the customers the measurement pots. I got to slide on vacation. Inside information keeps large people erasing their wives basing. It's dropped deep as it does my breath. I never sleep because sleep is the cousin of death. Beyond the walls of intelligence, life is defined. I think of crime, and I'm in the New York State of mind. New York State of mind was pretty much a song explaining everything he was going through growing up in the projects of Queensbridge. Now, he very well might have been selling drugs or had friends that did. A lot of other rappers, opposing rappers, question him on this. This is just explaining. I like to teach using the rap lyrics. He says, I never sleep because sleep is the cousin of death. Use personification. Sleep is the death of cousin. You can't sleep in New York. You gotta always keep your eyes open to know what's going on. So that's New York State of Mind, also from the Illmatic album. As you can see, the face, that's the actual face of him when he was a little kid. So he used Illmatic to describe his state of mind, just always into something, mischievous as a child. Okay, another song very instrumental from the Illmatic album that I analyzed was the Genesis. I'm sorry, One Love, the name of the chapters of Genesis. Pretty much in One Love, it's actually an open letter to a friend of his in jail, telling him what's going on. It says, what up, kid? I know stuff was rough during the bid. When the cops came, you should have slid to my crib. Bump it, like no time for looking back, it's done. Plus, congratulations, you know you got a son. I heard it looks like you. Why don't your lady write you? Told her she should visit us when she got hyper. I was like, yeah, sure they don't care. She a snake too. Messing with those brothers from the fake crew that hate you.